Warning!
Peggy 18.
In this video, we're going to prove again that the Prophet of Islam is a pedophile, but also, pay attention, but also a bisexual. Not only did he suck the tongue of his grandson Al-Hussein, but Muhammad also kissed the penis of his grandson as well. As you may know, Muslims, and in particular the scholars and the Dawah boys, have always tried to hide this information. But in this video, we'll see what the Islamic books have said about these two disgusting incidents in the life of the pedophile and bisexual Prophet of Islam. Reference: Muhammad sucking the tongue of Al-Hassan can be found in Musnad Ahmad, hadith number 16,848. And of course, all the scholars agreed that this hadith is sahih, which means highly authentic. No doubt about it. The same hadith is also mentioned in many Islamic books, and the chain of narration is sound, making the hadith as authentic as it can be. Muhammad truly sucked the tongue of Al-Hassan, who was at that time a young little boy. He happens to be also the son of his cousin Ali ibn Abi Talib. Wait, that's incest. Oh man, that's his grandson. Regarding Muhammad kissing the penis of Al-Hussein, Muslims tried to lie and said that the chain of narration for this hadith is da'if. But wait, is this true or another lie by the scholars to hide the embarrassing fact that Muhammad truly did kiss the penis of his grandson Al-Hussein, making him not only a pedophile but also a homosexual? Wow! Let us do some investigation. In the famous book called Al-Mu'jam Al-Kabir, volume 12 by At-Tabarani, on page 45 we can read, Ibn Abbas said, "I saw the Prophet spreading the thighs of Al-Hussein and kissed his penis." Wait. Muhammad did what to the young boy's penis? Ibn Abbas said, "I saw the Prophet spreading the thighs of Al-Hussein and kissed his penis." Oh boy, did you catch that? Muslims tried to hide this disaster and lied about the grading of this hadith that I showed you from At-Tabarani's book. On the website called islamqna.info, it says the chain of narration is da'if. The sheikh behind this website is literally deceiving everyone, so let me hit two birds with one stone and expose their deception and end this sheikh's career. If we go back to the physical book, we find in the footnote that the hadith is Hasan, which means a fully accepted good hadith. It turns out that the hadith is Hasan and certainly not da'if. Did you catch that? Man, these deceivers. I know it's embarrassing, right? For the confused Muslims out there, it says Muhammad kissed the penis of Al-Hussein and not the penis of his other grandson Al-Hassan. Did you catch how Muslims on the World Wide Web try to deceive everyone? But I just destroyed their lies. Conclusion: today we prove that even the little boys, the grandsons, were not safe from this pervert who they call a prophet. And Muslims of today have to lie and corrupt the grading of certain hadith chains out of embarrassment. I understand it's very embarrassing to follow such a false, evil, perverted prophet in modern day and age. Stay away from Islam, and especially from this evil pedophile prophet.
If Muslim scholars and imams aren't going to tell Muslims about Muhammad's guaranteed path to paradise, their good friend D. Wood will. There are some guaranteed paths to paradise that don't apply to Muslims today. For instance, in Al-Bukhari's Al-Adab Al-Mufrad 1183, we read, It is related that Abu Huraira said, "I never saw Al-Hasan without my eyes overflowing with tears. That is because the Prophet, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, went out one day and I found him in the mosque. He took my hand and I went along with him. He did not speak to me until we reached the market of Banu Kainuka. He walked around it and looked. Then he left and I left with him until we reached the mosque. He sat down and wrapped himself in his garment. Then he said, 'Where is the little one? Call the little one to me.' Hassan came running and jumped into his lap. Then he put his hand in his beard. Then the Prophet, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, opened his mouth and put his tongue in his mouth. Then he said, 'Oh Allah, I love him. So love him and the one who loves him.'" According to another hadith, Musnad Ahmed 16,245, Muhammad would suck on the tongues and lips of little boys. But he explained why. He said he guaranteed that if he sucked on a little boy's tongue or lips, that little boy's tongue or lips would never be tormented by hellfire. So Muhammad was saying that if he sucked on a little boy's tongue or lips, that little boy was guaranteed paradise. That's a path to paradise that most people don't know about. But it's not relevant to most Muslims today, since most Muslims aren't tiny little boys, and Muhammad's not around to suck on their tiny little tongues and lips. We're looking for a path to paradise that's still available. And fortunately for Muslims, there are some paths to paradise that are still available. Here's one, Sahih al-Bukhari 6807. Narrated Sahal bin Sa'ad, the Prophet said, "Whoever guarantees me the chastity of what is between his legs, i.e. his private parts, and what is between his jaws, i.e. his mouth, his tongue, I guarantee him paradise." The translator tries really hard to make this sound less creepy by adding some clarification in parentheses. He adds, "the chastity of his private parts, and his mouth, his tongue." If we take out these additions, we see what Muhammad actually said. He said, "Whoever guarantees me what is between his legs and what is between his jaws, I guarantee him paradise." The first way to interpret this would be the sexual interpretation. Muhammad wanted his followers to promise him their private parts for all eternity, and he guaranteed them paradise so that they'd be able to keep their end of the bargain. We wouldn't normally go with such a disgusting interpretation, but when we examine Muhammad's life, there isn't much we'd put past this guy. He was a total pervert. The second way to interpret this hadith would be the shirktastic interpretation. This is the interpretation the translator was trying to present when he added the words, "the chastity of." But notice, Muhammad didn't say that people who guarantee their private parts to Allah are guaranteed paradise. He said that people who guarantee their private parts to him are guaranteed paradise. Whoever guarantees me what is between his legs and what is between his jaws, I guarantee him paradise. I thought Muhammad was just a messenger. Why is he telling his followers to promise their penises and testicles and mouths and tongues and, frankly, their buttholes to him rather than to Allah? For someone who claims that Allah has no partner, Muhammad sure does act like he's Allah's partner. You don't promise your private parts to Allah, you promise them to a pervert, Muhammad. And if you promise your privates to a pretend prophet, he guarantees you paradise. Pretty impressive. Muhammad can just bypass the judgment of Allah and guarantee you paradise as long as you promise him your private parts. Clearly, if the shirktastic interpretation is correct, Muhammad is committing and promoting shirk, associating partners, namely himself, with Allah. He's trying to get his followers to pledge something to him that they should be pledging to God, and he's claiming that he's handing out tickets to paradise. Anyone who obeys Muhammad here is guilty of shirk.